Hey YouTube, welcome back to the Slice of Knife. My name is Alex, and today we are looking at one of the original. Actually, it is, for me, it's not the original of all time. It is the original knife that I first got as an EDC knife. You know what I should have did before this video is actually look at the year that this knife came out. Um, let's just put it this way: it's an over 10-year-old knife. I want to say might even be 15 years old, 2010 maybe. Um, in any case, it is a very much a special knife for me. Always something you can go to. Never fails. Not the flashiest, but really a wonderful piece of hardware. So, without further ado, let's introduce you to, if you don't already know about this knife, the OKC Ontario Knife Company Rat 2. Now, let's see. I've had a Rat 2. I didn't get it like when it first came out, so I don't know again when that was exactly, but I probably got one about 8 or 10 years ago, somewhere in that area. And it was sort of my start into knives. I had a few other knives, I guess, but as far as everyday carry pocket knives, this was sort of my start. It was the thing that really got me going. I did a lot of research on knives. I couldn't break the bank on it. I think at the time I got this knife, actually, it's about the same price what it costs now, oddly. I think I got it for around 40 or 50 bucks, and that's about where you find it now, anywhere 40, 50, maybe 35 on sale at a time, but you're probably looking at that. But I got this knife and I carried it every day for years. It was the only knife I had. I remember when I was looking for it, I wanted a knife that wasn't an automatic, but that had good action. And this knife fits that bill, let me tell you. You can see mine's pretty worn. Carried for a long time, used a lot. You can really see it on the pocket clip. I mean, that's a used pocket clip. Um, but I wouldn't change it. It kind of gives the knife character. I like that I've used this knife. I like that it's been scraped up. You can barely even see the little um, logo, which this is like the Randall's Adventure in Training, I think, logo. Um, which actually on here you can kind of see it. It's pretty beat. Oh yeah, there we go. Adventure. Yeah, Randall's Adventure Training. Rat. Um, it is. Can't really read the middle of it very well. I'm surprised I could even get the glare just right on that. But this is the Rat Randall's. Randall's makes the SE knives as well, or do or did. Okay, the Ontario Knife Company kind of took it over. I don't really know the whole story behind all of that, but it's Ontario Knife Company now. But it was it's Randall's Adventure Training, which is really closely related to the SE line. They make other ones that are similar to this. This is not covered by like the SE warranty, so like an SE4 that I also have that I'll review on here eventually. That thing has a lifetime do anything to it. You could just like chip it on a rock and they're going to replace or fix it, the whole thing for you for nothing. So that's really cool. This does not carry that, but this knife is not expensive enough that if you really damaged it, could you get another one? That being said, thing is like a tank for me. I carried it for years. I mean, every day for, let's just say every day for at least 5 years straight, maybe 6. And then I might have grabbed another knife here and there. For a while, this was really the only thing I carried. Um, Now I have a whole bunch of knives. In any case, let's go through the specs on this thing. By the way, so it's a liner lock knife, and the action on it. I mean, I've cleaned this thing probably less than I should have, but a few times. I mean, flips open nice. It's not drop shut, but it's just a just a little bit of pressure gets it going, and then it rolls back in. It's got good detent, really solid detent, all that kind of stuff. Um, Here, let's lay it out. Let's read some specs to you and go. So the length of the knife is 7 overall. Blade length is exactly 3 with a 2.75 cutting edge, a 0.09 thickness, and it's Alsate steel. So not like the greatest steel, definitely a budget steel, but I mean, it's corrosion resistant, holds a pretty, has a easy to sharpen, can get it very sharp, doesn't hold its edge extremely long. It did actually used to, I think I actually did get it out pretty well. There used to be a chip. I did get a chip up in the tip, like right around there. And I was able to sharpen that out. It was a very small chip, but I was able to sharpen that out with the use of my bench stone, my work sharp bench stone that I have recently did a little mini review on this channel. Nothing crazy. It wasn't like a super in-depth show you all the good things review, but it was a review nonetheless, and of that thing. And I used that to sharpen that out of there. Because actually, I just sharpened that tip out like a couple months ago when I got it. It was one of the first things I did was let's run it on this thing a bunch and see if we can get it out of there. And we did. So the blade's that's a drop point blade, the flat grind, satin finish. I prefer a stonewash finish over a satin finish. This satin finish just shows a lot of the marks. I guess, again, kind of nice for the character, but I just like a stonewash. Looks cleaner. It's about 2 3/4 ounces, or 2.75 ounces. One of the nicest things about this is, now, when they gave me the knife, they have it as a tip-up carry. They put the clip over here. Yeah, this side, yep, because it's still on the side. It's right-handed tip-up carry, but this has 4 positional carry. Now, it's not deep carry, it's not going to be very concealed. It's definitely going to stick out proud. There's nothing, nothing crazy here, but it is 4-way. So you can do left or right-handed, tip up or tip down. That's a nice feature. Not a lot of knives have. It's very nice steel thumb studs. Bump the camera. Unprofessional, you know it. And manual opening, liner lock, like I said. This is the Model 2. The Model 1, the Rat 1, there's actually a 1.5. I don't know a ton about the 1.5, but the Model 1 is bigger than this. It's quite a bit larger. I want to say it's like a 3.5 or 3 3/4 inch blade. So it's a bigger knife. This one is definitely smaller, but this is exactly 3 inches. Is like, there's a reason, I guess, when you look at me and the type of knives that I like, and a lot of the knives that we've reviewed on this channel are typically smaller knives, 3 inches and under in the blade size. And that probably has a lot to do with the fact that I ran with this knife for so long, and it's an exactly 3-inch blade. This might be, it's not my favorite blade, but the length it just is right with the handle, and the jimping is nice. So a little close up here. It has a little bit of jimping. It has just enough jimping to make it useful. It's a useful amount of jimping, not unlike, although I love the banter from the Civivi banter from Ben Peterson. I don't like the jimping on it. It's stupid. I'm not a fan of its jimping. It needed more. This has enough right up to the thumb stud. Probably could have went a little further, but enough, because of the way that the little choil is here. It honestly just fits it. You get that perfect grip right in there. I have about a 4-inch here to here, 4-inch here to here hand. So because of that, it fits just in, perfect size, right in there for me. I like that a lot. That's very nice. Again, it's got a nice detent, and you can feel it. It sticks in there, and then as soon as you hit it, it really goes. It doesn't really take a lot of pressure to get this thing to fly. It really glides right through. Now, yes, I cleaned it up and oiled it up. I believe it was just brass washers. Yeah, it is. It's brass washers in there. Let's see if it's. I will say this. I don't think this thing was centered when I got it. It's still not quite 100% centered, but it's pretty close. It does have no blade play, so that's nice. No blade play, very good. It's a well-made knife. Mine definitely was not centered. I loosened the pivot screw a little bit to give this a little more glide, and then I had it loosened even more, and it forced it center. But then it had a tiniest bit of blade play, so I went a little too far. But very nice knife. Awesome starter. Again, for $45, great starter knife. First knife for somebody. I would say maybe not first knife. First knife for somebody who maybe first. I'm going to say this is going to sound weird, but first real knife for somebody. So for a little kid, maybe not, but maybe. It depends on the kid, I guess, maturity level and all those things. Like when I say little kid, I mean like 10 and under. For that, we have something like the Open L, as I've talked about before, and I need to show that on this channel, that I think is really good for 10 and under knife. But you're a kid who's, I don't know, 13, 14 years old, maybe a Boy Scout, or just a kid who's really into camping and outdoor stuff, fishing, whatever it is. I mean, it's, again, stainless steel, so corrosion resistant, be good for fishing. This is a knife that maybe this is like a great second knife. Like your first knife, if you're really graduating through the knives, is you're a little kid, probably not this, but maybe this is a great first knife as an adult. Like first knife for an adult or teenager. They've handled knives before. Even I guess if they haven't, if this is going to be their first, that'd be good. I guess all I mean is it's not for little kids. In any case, good knife, a very nice knife. Let's do a little size comparison in here. So you know what's coming. I don't even have to say it. City Yonder. I said it, but I didn't have to because you would know. Plus, you'd see it on the screen and be like, oh yeah, it's City Yonder because we know that knife. So Savini Yonder is a little bit smaller, but again, Savini Yonder is my favorite knife of right now. And although that banter is, as much as I said I don't like the jimping on the banter, I do like the banter a lot. And then another very popular knife, to give you a good size comparison, that's slightly bigger, is the CJRB Pyrite Light. Pyrite Light is a nice knife, and this is, this is your size difference. So this is obviously in the middle of these, and I did that for a very specific reason, so you can kind of see where it is. So Pyrite Light is actually one of the bigger knives that I'm okay with. Like I would carry it in an everyday carrier because it's Pyrite Light. It's very light, and I like the blade shape, and it just fits my hand well. It feels nice. I also like the choke up, the choke up choil you can have on there. Very nice for that. In any case, and I have a video about that if you want to see that. Be sure to look at it. But I do like that knife, and I do like the Rat too. So that was a quick size comparison. I don't think you can go wrong with this knife. It's a great knife, a great first knife. It's honestly, it's a knife too. If you know somebody who's an enthusiast about knives, and you want to get a gift, but you don't want to break the bank on that. Sorry, I have a little hiccup there. If you want to get them a knife, but you want to break the bank, but you want to get them something that's like decent quality, that it's not a gas station knife, not a petrol station knife, as my European friends would say, then you get this. You get this knife. This knife is going to be known by people who are knife people, and it's going to work really well for your budget at under $50. And even if they already have one, a second one that they can throw in a truck or in a bag or whatever, and like this is your bug out bag knife. Super utilitarian, works well, does the job, gonna last. Thing is the G10 scales. I didn't talk about the scales actually. So the scales are G10. They got a little bit of grip to them. It's not the grippiest G10, though they do have a little bit of that texture that you probably can't hear. But because of the jimping and because of the way the knife kind of forms to your hand, for me, the grip's fine, basically. And the pocket clip is no hot spots or anything like that. So I think this is a knife that absolutely anybody could pick up. I think it's a knife that anybody's going to like. It deserves to be used, and it needs more recognition than it gets. I guess it's old, so maybe it probably got a lot back when it was first released. But it is old standby, old faithful. Like I would take this knife anytime. You offer me this knife amongst many other knives, I'd go, yeah, because I know this thing is tried and true, tested, good to go. So in any case, thank you very much for tuning in. If you like what you saw, like what you hear, please hit that like and subscribe button. I love to get the likes, love to get the subscriptions to help grow the channel. That means a lot. Let me know in the comments below if you have a knife that's kind of your go-to knife. What's that knife that you're just gonna take? And I don't mean it's your most expensive or your cheapest. It doesn't have to be the budget knife of the year or whatever. But just like, what is that knife? And like, this is one of those knives where it's not my absolute favorite knife, but man, if I need something dependable and this thing's in the pile, it's getting some consideration, if not going to be the choice. So would be curious to know what your knives are that are like that. This is certainly one of them. The unsung hero of the knife world, the Ontario Knife Company, OKC Rat 2. Or it was also the Randall's RAT, Randall's Adventure Training, the SE Company Rat 2. Again, I think they make a very similar folder now. I need to look into that a little bit. It's very rat-like, but not the rat. God bless. Have a great day. I hope everybody is having a great day. I hope you continue to have a great day and a great week. And we'll see you next time on A Slice of Knife.